They always say, if you want something, go after it. But in love, the harder you chase, the more it slips away. She doesn't drift because you didn't try hard enough. She pulls away when your energy becomes desperate, uncertain, misaligned. There's a reason why silence can speak louder than words, why stillness can move her more than 1,000 messages. Because in relationships, like in life, what you attract is never about effort alone. It's about alignment, vibration, inner stability. Maybe you've been ghosted, blocked. Maybe she left without a word. Or maybe she's still in your life, but emotionally distant. Wherever you are in this story, what comes next doesn't depend on her. It depends on you. At Stoic Station, we don't chase outcomes. We reclaim presence. We shift from reaction to intention. And in doing so, we stop chasing love and start becoming the kind of man it can't walk away from. If you're ready to understand what truly draws her back, not as a tactic, but as a transformation, stay with me. Like this video if it resonates. Subscribe to Stoic Station if you're ready to rebuild not just the connection, but the man at the center of it. Let's dive in. Part 1. You are the source of everything you attract. There's a moment, quiet but powerful, when you realize that everything showing up in your life is responding to you, not to your words, not even to your actions, but to your energy, your beliefs, your emotional state. It's a sobering thought, and yet it's also the most liberating truth you'll ever hear. If you attracted the breakup, you can attract the reconciliation. That may sting. At first it feels like blame, but if you sit with it, you'll see it's not blame. It's power. It means you're not just reacting to life, you're shaping it. It means you're not just a bystander in the story of your love life, you've always been the author. Most men don't know this. They think she left because they weren't good enough, or they said the wrong thing, or didn't say enough. But it often runs deeper than that. It wasn't what you did. It was what you radiated. It was your inner state. The silent signals you didn't know you were sending. Doubt, insecurity, fear of losing her. These things speak louder than any text or gesture. And the truth is, she felt that. And so did the universe. That's what energy does. It mirrors. It reflects back the beliefs you carry most consistently. When you believe you're not enough, life will give you evidence to support it. When you live in fear of loss, loss finds its way to your door. But the opposite is just as true. And that's where your freedom begins. The day you stop chasing love and start becoming love is the day everything changes. You see, love doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who remember they are already whole. When you live from that place, when you walk through the world as if love is something you carry, not something you lack, you send out a frequency that's impossible to ignore, not because you're louder, not because you're more visible, but because you've stopped needing and started embodying. And in that embodiment, you become magnetic, not just to her, but to life. You start attracting more kindness, more opportunity, more connection, not because you asked for it, but because you finally became a match to it. So let that sink in. You attract when you live as if love is already within you, not when you're hunting it like something missing. This is the shift most men never make. They stay stuck in reaction, overanalyzing what she said, what she did, what it means. But the real power isn't in decoding her. It's in reclaiming yourself. Because when you start projecting the energy of a man who's already at peace, already fulfilled, already living with purpose, you change the story without ever needing to convince her of anything. You're not a victim of her decision. You never were. You are the architect of your reality. The moment you accept that is the moment everything becomes possible again. And when you begin to shift what you project, when your energy becomes rooted in calm confidence instead of quiet desperation, you'll be shocked by how the universe responds. But more than that, you'll be shocked by how she responds. Part 2. Your vibration determines the outcome. We've all been taught that wanting something is the first step toward getting it. Want a job? Apply for it. Want love? Pursue it. Want her back? Prove you've changed. But what no one ever explained is this. Wanting, when it comes from a place of emotional emptiness, isn't attractive energy. It's a broadcast of lack. It's the loud announcement that something is missing, and the universe, in its perfect consistency, doesn't respond to what you lack. It responds to what you are. When you say, "I want her back," what you're truly radiating is, "I don't have her." That becomes your dominant frequency. And because like attracts like, what do you think you continue to attract? More not having, more longing, more reminders of what's absent. This is where the power of vibration enters. You're vibrating all the time, through your thoughts, your feelings, your self-image. You can't not vibrate. The only question is, what frequency are you tuned to? Imagine a tuning fork. If you strike it in a quiet room, only another fork tuned to the exact same pitch will respond and begin to hum. The others remain still. That's not coincidence, that's resonance, that's physics. And love, connection, emotional alignment, these work the same way. If you're vibrating at the frequency of desperation, insecurity, or scarcity, she won't feel pulled to you, no matter how many texts you send or how convincing your apology may be. But when your energy becomes rooted in calm, in self-worth, in quiet joy, you begin to resonate differently. You stop reaching outward and begin radiating inward. That's when things begin to shift. She won't know why at first. She'll just feel it. In the silence. In a random moment in her day. She'll sense a difference in you without a word being spoken. That's the nature of real attraction. It happens before the conversation ever begins again. It begins at the level of vibration. She might dream about you, think of you unexpectedly, feel drawn back into your presence, not out of nostalgia, but because something about you feels different now, familiar yet new. There's an energetic invitation, not a plea, and that matters. This isn't manipulation, it's alignment. And it raises an honest question, one that most men avoid asking themselves. Are you broadcasting the energy of a man who is whole, or of a man who is hoping? Because only one of those men is magnetic. And here's what's remarkable. The shift doesn't require a big event or dramatic transformation. It begins with something subtle but powerful, choosing to live as if love is already within you, speaking as if you're already valued, walking as if you're already chosen, not in arrogance, but in certainty. You don't need to announce your change. You don't need to make declarations. Just shift your frequency and let the energy speak for itself. When your vibration becomes love, not longing, when your presence feels calm, full and sure, she'll feel it. She won't understand why it moves her, but she will be moved. And that's the moment things begin to return, not because you pushed, but because you finally aligned. Part 3. Shift your inner environment to change the external. Your environment isn't just the space you live in or the job you go to every morning. It's much more subtle and far more powerful. Your real environment is internal. It's your self-concept, your beliefs, the emotional atmosphere you live in every day, whether you're aware of it or not. It's the thoughts you repeat to yourself, the stories you believe about who you are and what you deserve. And if you want to change what's happening out there, whether it's the way she sees you or how the world responds to you, you have to start in here. This is the truth. No one teaches men growing up. You don't become attractive by doing more. You don't need to chase harder. text more, get in better shape, or prove your worth to anyone. You become magnetic by being more of who you already are, when you drop the performance and stand firm in your truth. And that only happens when you believe in your value, even if no one else is clapping for you. The most common trap after a breakup is this. Men begin to see themselves as replaceable, like they were never enough, like someone else is better. And that belief, quiet, persistent, starts shaping everything. Your tone, your posture, your energy. It bleeds into every interaction, even when you're silent. But not you, not anymore. You are not a pebble kicked aside on the street. You are a diamond, unseen perhaps, but not lost. A rare stone forged by pressure, carved by pain, made more brilliant through experience. And the moment you begin to truly see yourself that way, something in the world shifts. She will feel it. Not because you told her, not because you posted something cryptic online, but because energy never lies. People always respond to the way you treat yourself. The man who walks with quiet purpose, who protects his peace, who invests in his own growth without begging for recognition, he becomes impossible to ignore. He becomes the eye of the storm. And the woman who once drifted away from your life, she will feel drawn, not to who you were, but to who you've become. This isn't ego. This is essence. This is you coming home to yourself. And the truth is simple but unavoidable. We chase when we feel empty. We run after what we think we're missing, hoping it will fill the silence inside. But we attract, genuinely, powerfully, and without effort, when we live in a state of love, abundance, and deep inner magnetism. She's not looking for a man who pleads. She's not pulled toward the version of you who needs to be chosen. She's pulled toward the man who has already chosen himself, the one who doesn't beg to be seen, because he sees himself. And that changes everything. When your inner world becomes a place of strength, peace, and self-honor, the outer world starts reflecting that back, not just in her, but in everyone, because you've stopped trying to prove you're enough and started living like you already are. And that energy, it shakes her story of you to the core. Summary. In this journey, I've invited you to step into a truth that most men never fully realize. You are not chasing love, you are becoming it. Every experience you attract in your relationship, whether it's a painful breakup or the spark of reconciliation, is not random. It's a reflection of your inner world, your energy, your beliefs, your emotional state. This isn't about blaming yourself. It's about recognizing the quiet power you've always had, but never learned to trust. If your fear, doubt, and emotional insecurity once pushed her away, then your peace, wholeness, and alignment can draw her back. Because love doesn't respond to begging, it responds to vibration. We explored how wanting, when rooted in lack, repels what you crave. But the moment you stop saying, "I need her," and start living like you are already full, everything begins to shift. This isn't just theory, it's emotional physics. Just like a tuning fork, only what resonates with your frequency can respond to you. The core lesson is simple, yet radical. The way you treat yourself teaches the world how to treat you. When your internal environment becomes one of self-respect, quiet strength, and emotional maturity, you no longer chase validation. You embody it, and she, who once pulled away, feels that shift without a single word being said. But insight alone isn't enough. You must practice this daily, through intention, visualization, gratitude, and action, not for her, for you. Because the man who wakes up and chooses certainty over fear, presence over lack, and love over longing becomes magnetic. And when you finally let go, not as a tactic, but as truth, she feels it. You stop reaching, and she starts remembering. You detach, and she becomes curious. You move on, not to forget her, but to find yourself. And it's that version of you she can't ignore. In today's world, men are rarely taught the emotional intelligence that fuels healthy love. But the truth is timeless. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. So reclaim your essence, build your peace, and live as though love is already within you. Because when you do, she won't just come back. She'll come back and beg to stay. Before you go, remember this: you don't need to chase what's meant for you. You just need to become the man it can't walk away from. Thank you for watching. If this message spoke to something within you, like the video, subscribe to Stoic Station, and stay grounded in who you are becoming.